Also talk about another burning issue. The Senate has passed the Electoral Act amendment at plenary earlier today, but without agreement on the vexed issue of electronic transmission of results. Instead, the upper legislative chamber amended the section to make the Independent National Electoral Commission seek approval for the electronic transmission of results from the Nigerian Communications Commission and the National Assembly. Gentlemen, this is very, very funny. Asuko.
Honestly, it's very... While we are thinking that our election and the election process will be improved by technology, let me use that word, by technology, just like across the world, what is happening now, we seem to be going back. Going back in the sense that politicians will always find a way and a means to always want to bring us back. I didn't expect anything different anyway, Ayo, because I know that a house that is already skewed in favor of one particular political party will always want to, if they want anything now done, they will definitely get it. You know, so the senators, what they did was they didn't want to, you know, say, okay, fine, want the electronic vote, the electronic transmission of results.
Stylishly avoided
so
it.
They now did it in such a way, they amended that clause to make it look as if, okay, fine, you guys want this thing to go.
We're not against.
We are not for
it.
against.
It's vague.
You know, but they made it so difficult in such a way that INEC, before INEC will even want to transmit, even if they transmit, they have to get approval from either the NCC or from the National Assembly. So there's another clause that is inside the clause. So rather than INEC sending the result immediately, because there's another thing that's practicable.
Complicated the matter.
Definitely. So practicable means even if you are in, just like the deputy speaker was saying, what of the people that are in Maiduguri, that the mass, they don't have mass, they don't have this, they don't have that. So it means that they have stylishly, the Senate has stylishly given us another clause whereby even INEC, it will be difficult for INEC to become the sole commission to INEC cannot even work independently as we speak now. Because I'm even surprised that Kabiru Gaya, who was the chairman of that committee, and he agreed to electronic transmission, when it was time for voting, he voted against against what his own reports.
Okay, for Nigerians to have a fair idea of what transpired in the Senate today. Now, the final results on electronic voting. We have 28 senators saying the ayes have it. 52 saying the nays have it. 28 were absent and 0 abstained. Now, the total vote was 80. And you know, in our Senate, we have 109. That means 52 voted no. We don't want electronic voting. And 28 voted yes, we want it. Now, let me quickly go to Jide. Jide, from the vibe I'm getting from the House of Representatives, because we had to break the transmission, we were covering it live to come to have journalists hangout right now. From that vibe, I don't think this electronic voting will scale through. I saw the effort, the Speaker of the House of Representatives to sway the House. I saw the effort of Honorable James Abiodun Faleke and Honorable Raji from Ekpe Federal Constituency. But I saw a part of the country saying that we are not ready for this, that technology might not have gotten so you know as advanced the way it is in the south to the northern part of the country.
I want to believe that it's not simply the north senators from the north or House of Reps members from the north alone that opposed this. Faleke came up with a motion seeking the acceptance of both electronic and manual transmission. That was what Faleke asked for. He asked for an amendment of clause 52 to allow for transmission, electronic as well as manual transmission. So that's what his own clause is about. Now, when you look at what his clause is about, he is trying to, Faleke is trying to accommodate both groups. You see, trying to accommodate both groups. And that way, you see that it is not entirely different to what the senators wanted, that where practicable,
Exactly.
you can use electronic transmission. You can transmit results electronically. So Faleke was trying to accommodate both of his colleagues that were not in favor of electronic transmission and those in favor. Talking about the Senate, for example, some of the senators who kicked against electronic transmission were Southerners. Yes. By the time the full the names of all the people who voted for and against come out, you will see senators or some senators from southern Nigeria who voted against. So I disagree that it's a part of the country that does not want it. Even the suggestion by Faleke, I do not know how it can work. If we want the law permits, the law, they should have allowed INEC to take this decision by itself. Because the Constitution says that the conduct of elections shall be the responsibility of INEC. So by twisting INEC's hands and taking the powers of INEC and giving it to both the National Assembly and the NCC, then you start wondering what's going on.
All right, Jide.
You start wondering what's going on.
Jide, just hold your breath there. I have to pay these bills. When we come back, we'll discuss more. It's still Journalist Hangout. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. We're talking about the interests. We're talking about, what actually guided this lawmaker in taking the decision they took today.
Yes, just like Jide, I didn't see a North versus South or a South. What I see are people who are consumed by their own interest and nothing else. You see, a philosopher said a politician thinks about the next election, a statesman thinks about the next generation. A politician thinks about the success of his political party. A statesman thinks about the success of his country. So when you look at the people, men and women you have seen in the Senate over this matter, when you try to characterize what you are watching in the House of Reps, it's so easy to please who we have, the kind of people we have
as a country.
This is a country that requires, at this point, more of statesmen, people who can think about the future of the country, instead of maybe a ruling party, opposition party, partisan lines. It's beyond this at this moment. If we are unable to do something serious about our electoral system, that is, bring in sanity into the way we recruit, leadership, make votes count. We cannot do that, then we should just resign to what we have, or things that will be worse than what we are getting. I don't know who is afraid of a transparent and credible election. If there are people that are still afraid of that at this time, then I don't know what to say, because what we have now is not the best for us. People know that in this era, there's a lot technology can do to help. We just spoke about military. We know what technology can do to help against fight against insurgency. Now we are talking about election. Technology, is the game changer. We have this technology. Now, with what they are doing so far, we have a bad situation with some of the propositions here and that I've seen. They will end up making a bad situation worse because the independence of INEC is going to be watered down from the look of things that I've seen so far.
Exactly.
So you want to please this, you want to please that. Why is so difficult? Let INEC, we have the infrastructure. Without trying to boast, we have been to almost every part of Nigeria. The infrastructure is there to deliver, elections. Why are we always afraid?
Asuko, it said that there's no smoke without fire. 2 weeks ago, Yaga Africa sent me a document, and they alluded to the fact that something is about to go down. Do you understand? They had their fears, but these senators, they came out, they were saying, there's an attempt to demonize us, there's an attempt to do this. Now they voted, we've seen. The House of Rep, the same thing. People coming out to deny, no, we'll stand by the people, we'll stand by what is good. Now, is it standing by the people and standing with what is good that you have both manual and electronic voting? Because if you cover election, Asuko, this is a practical thing. We know what we go through.
Yes.
Anytime we are covering election.
Exactly.
By the time
incident form.
Yes. But from the
that's what they used to rig election in Nigeria. Incident form.
Exactly.
From the candidate, from the process of the candidate,
bypass button,
down to the polling unit results, down to the transmission of results to ward level, to state level, to the local government level, state level, then down to the central coalition center. We know what goes down.
Exactly.
And we know how cumbersome. Sometimes we have our election on Saturday. By Tuesday, we are still waiting for INEC to declare who is the next president of Nigeria.
Yeah, Ayo, just like Adekunle said, our politicians are after their own interests. Let's look at the Edo election, for instance. When INEC introduced that simple technique of wherever you are, the results, snap and send, it looked more credible. It was just a credible election. Immediately,
display of
electronic transmission of results.
Nobody could tamper with it.
And it happened in Ondo. So I don't know why our politicians.
One step forward.
We are moving forward, and then some people are saying, you know what? Most of these senators you are seeing, most of them are already afraid of what will happen in 2023. Forget, because they know because of how poorly they performed.
This bill is affected.
Yes.
By their fears.
Yes, it's because of their fears of 2023. Because they are looking at future. No, they are not looking at it. They are looking at 2023. If we make this thing possible now, 2023 they might not come back, because by then, if you are my senator, you have not performed, I will galvanize people to vote against you, and once the results are out, I will send it electronically, and then INEC will get it. So it is what INEC will tabulate, that is what it will announce. So they are really afraid. That is why all of them are now coming up with different clauses so that this does not go on. Even India, as big, more than 1 billion people, they are using electronic voting. India started election on Friday. By Saturday, the elections were almost over. So why are we always doing this? When we are moving forward, everybody is always leaving Nigeria behind.
The INEC chairman will now state to state, now carry his calculator.
No, do you know what we see?
No
by now, Nigeria,
nothing.
No, we do not want. Do you know how cumbersome that process is? Somebody will start looking for lights to be looking at where the results are.
We saw them use it, torchlight.
You understand?
I cannot see this.
So we have to pass that era. We need to pass that era. I am surprised that the senators and the House of Rep members who are representing us are even debating something like this. When once that particular clause came up, all of them, they should have told the Deputy Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, this is not something we should debate. We need electronic transmission of results, and then everybody will vote or whatever, and then from there we'll move on. But they have made this a big issue whereby everybody now doubts even the capacity of even most of them there. Because I just don't see why somebody will call himself a representative, a senator, and he will go and will be telling me that he does not believe in electronic transmission of results at this age and stage.
Okay.
Whereas INEC has never come out to say it is not prepared.
It's not prepared. INEC is even more prepared to even do that.
Electronic voting.
Yes, they are prepared because INEC has they have the money, they have the capacity, they have everything to give us.